Check. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Early Bird Show. I'm your host, Eric Rogers. We got to talk about a lot of things. Well, a few things. College basketball, March Madness, something about the Yankees getting rid of the beard rule, and we got to talk about some one-on-one. We'll get into that later. But before we do all of that, a few things to know. First, let's take a look at Stephen A. Smith. He said he wouldn't mind being in the office. And by office, he means president. His one ask would be not to campaign because he's not good at shaking hands and kissing babies. When I first saw this, I had to take a second look. But once I knew it was real, I didn't think it was out of line, coming from a man with a hairline like this. Yeah. And MLB umpire Pat Hoberg was fired for sharing a sports betting account with a friend. He denies betting on baseball, but this is coming from a dude who deleted messages key in the investigation, which is as trustworthy as your wolf and your grandma's clothes. I feel bad for the people who did bet on his games because they thought they were about to pay some bills, and they found out that their parlays weren't built with stones. It's crazy. Hey, with my guys G's
Yo,
and Chi. What's going on, fellas?
chilling, man. How you feeling?
I'm cool, man. Cool. You know, it's cold outside, but now it's a nice day.
Brr.
We gotta talk about March Madness is here, man. Let's talk about. I want to know, UConn might not make it to the tournament.
Yeah.
So, what team do you think has the best chance of taking it all?
I'll be honest. The team I've been watching lately is the Auburn Tigers. That team is stacked and they built very well. For some reason, they have a really young core too. So, plus they got a guy over there from Jersey City, Tahad Pettiford. So, definitely rooting for them.
Yeah, I know. When I look at the landscape, I gotta go old school. I gotta go classic.
Why not?
I think Duke.
Can't go wrong with that.
I like when it comes to college. I know the teams, but I like superstars, man.
Yeah.
You be looking at, I think about AD, I think about Melo. They might have had good players on their side, but they had that star power, man. I think
Yeah.
of Cooper Flag,
Yeah, he's one of them.
the future Spur.
Future number one pick. Let's keep it.
Yeah,
at
future
that.
number pick. I don't know, man, but
Keep
yeah,
it at
I
that.
look at that and I go, man, averaging 19, 7 rebounds. I'm like,
Yeah.
he's doing everything on the court. He's
Yeah.
only gonna have to do more when it come time to play. You know, when that do or die.
I think he'll be ready.
So I'm liking the future number one pick.
Sounds much better than what you said before.
Man, look real quick. He's going to the Spurs.
I can't say that. I mean, because it's not a league like football. You know, like the worst team gets the number one pick. I think we saw it last year. The Hawks getting the number one pick, and they weren't necessarily the worst team. So I'm always wary about teams tanking or saying that they're going to tank or being the worst team. Sure, he could go to the Wizards. He could go to a team that's like the third or fourth worst team in the league. And honestly, I don't think the Spurs would sign De'Aaron Fox and just like say, all right, let's just take the rest of the year off and try to get as close to high odds of getting the number one pick as we can. I just don't see that happening. But then again, as we see so far, the NBA script is all over the
I'm about
place.
to say
so.
that's how they got Wemby, man. Wemby was
knows?
just out of nowhere, just became a Spur.
Yeah. Nah, I think they were in line to. They were like, all right, we want to get Wemby. But I
Well,
think
who knows, man? Because this year's number one pick, I haven't heard much.
You're not supposed to. Going to a team like that, no one expected him to be a standout star. That's why also it was kind of like how they end up taking him as the number one pick. But yeah, I just can't, like I said, I can't see a team like the Spurs intentionally going out and from where they're at now, and just tanking hard to get that number one pick.
Well, I hope he goes someplace good, man. I would hate for him to go to Wizards, to Washington, or Washington, or the Pelicans.
Yeah, I mean,
where for career goes to die. The last Duke player to go there, then Duke well. But now from my main man Chi.
Yes, sir. Today we focus on NBA futures, Rookie of the Year. Right now, the books have it at Stephon Castle minus 185, Jalen Wells plus 650, and Khalil Ware plus 1200. Currently, Victor Wembanyama is out for the season with the Spurs. So Stephon Castle should see an increase in touches and minutes, as you see now. So do what you do with that.
Been a minute since we got a stat sheet.
Yeah. You know, we ain't gonna talk about that. I don't know. I like that. Stephon Castle to win Rookie of the Year. That ain't bad.
It's not, especially after watching him these past couple of games. He's definitely that guy that's coming off the bench for them and giving him that spark right after Devin Vassell. And I think that role fits him perfectly. He's definitely got the confidence, like I said, just from watching that team play. Yeah. Definitely got that confidence in putting up them shots and actually fitting in onto that team.
Plus 185, that ain't bad.
It's not bad at all.
See, I wish you would give us a stat about that.
Minus 185.
Minus 185. Minus 185?
Still some good guy over there.
Yeah, I guess.
But,
I would have rather.
I like the plus 185.
Real quick, MVP. I know right now It's between Joker
I'm
and
gonna stop you right
and
there.
Shea.
His name is SGA. That's the MVP right there. I think there's definitely some. I think this year, aside from SGA just deserving the award and him playing like it, I think if the race does get a little bit closer than what it is now, you're starting to see some voter fatigue and people wanting to vote for Jokic. What's this? That'd be his third time. He got it the last 2 years. Did he get it? Or would this be the fourth year?
Would it be the fourth year?
I can't
I
remember.
think it might be he got too many now.
Exactly.
That's too
my
many.
point exactly. So
Yeah,
I think there will be some voter fatigue there if the race does get a little closer. But where I see it right now, I do see Shea running away with it.
Uh,
Team being the number one in the league, or in the Western Conference, I should say. I do see him winning the MVP this year.
all right. I hope he get it, man.
Yeah.
Side note: the Yankees got rid of their no beard policy. Yo, that was crazy. I did not see that coming, man. And
You had to know it was gonna come eventually, though, right?
well,
As a Yankees fan,
they should have, in my opinion, I understand why they had it, but you know, like Hal was saying, it's an older thing. Like this ain't 1970.
mm-hmm.
Come on, brother. Like, can I go outside with something? I don't want to
Yeah,
go outside with just bald face all the time. This isn't it. I like the rule change. I thought it was cool. I thought it was like, all right, look, wear a beard.
Yeah.
Just don't come in here
Scruffy.
with a braided. You know, we
Yeah.
we still the Yankees.
Well,
Let's have a little bit of pride in that.
Yeah.
And Aaron Judge said he's still not gonna grow his beard out. That, which is cool. I
I
guess.
think this just speaks for like where we're at, not only with society but in the league. Like it's a lot of inclusion going on in the world.
But they getting rid of a lot of that. But
they we ain't gonna speak on that. Exactly. It's a lot of inclusion being forced upon us as a society right now in the world or in the country. So I think you just seeing that. That's all that's going on. They're trying to make some changes into, like you said, the old time rules.
yeah, just
And I think, like I said, it's been a long time coming. I would love to hear how the older players who had to cut their facial hair and cut their long hair, how they would feel about it.
well, I know one player, Johnny Damon. Johnny Damon said he cut his hair to become a Yankee.
Yeah, okay.
But he said he was proud to do that. That it was a part of the reason why he wanted to, so.
You left us to come.
CC Sabathia and all of them was happy about it. Andy Pettit, but it's like, I guess if you could, Marcus Stroman said that he can't grow a beard, so this doesn't really do anything for him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Chi, what do you think about the new rule change?
I like it, man. It's an opportunity for a Yankee to get a lot of free agents who wouldn't have came, because there was a policy in state before.
Word.
Makes sense.
Yeah, what I mean, it was time. Look, this is an arms race. It always been, and now it's definitely one with the Dodgers getting everybody.
Yeah.
So, all right. I hope somebody get a goatee. We win the championship this year.
Not before us.
All right. We'll be right back. Stick around on Scroll Around. It's the Early Bird Show.
Welcome to an evening with comedy, volume 2 to be exact, baby. Thank y'all for being here with us tonight. You could be anywhere in the world, but you made it here tonight. We really appreciate it.
It was a 10 out of 10.
Everyone was straight. Everyone was good. So it can't get any better.
Ain't nothing but love and energy in the room. Looking forward to the next one. Love.
And I'm gonna bring the whole Jersey City with me next time. Drinks on me.
Yo, and we're back. I want to talk about one quick thing: the Unrivaled League. Yeah, man, they halfway through their season. They only played till March 17th. Yeah, I want you to know what elements of the Unrivaled League do you think the NBA could take from, even if they put into the All-Star game?
Well, first and foremost, the easiest answer here is the 1v1. I think you don't see it too much because it's the women's side of it, but that will bring so much more viewership to the NBA. With today's top stars going up against each other for a big prize, kind of like a gulag type of thing. So I think
cool.
that's the number one answer here. I'm not actually sure. I know Coco Gauff was one of the investors and one of the ones that spearheaded this Unrivaled League for the WNBA, but I'm not sure how else this came about. But I do like it. I think it's not getting the national news that it deserves, really. But then again, that's one of the things that we'll start to see over time.
Yeah.
But definitely that's the number one thing, especially for the All-Star League. I mean, for the All-Star weekend, for the NBA.
Yeah,
1v1s.
I like the 1-on-1. I like the 3-on-3.
The 3-on-3 too.
They got that in the Olympics right
Yeah,
now. They
yeah.
added that, but it's it's like the NBA got to figure out some things to add. I'm not one of the people that think that they're boring, but
Mm.
the All-Star weekend was like, oh, all right, I could skip this one. This
Yeah.
ain't one that I really need to see.
Yeah, I didn't really care.
'Cause
But
I didn't-
this weekend, that the last game, that Sunday game was just what was that? Like,
Yeah, that was bad.
Whose idea was that?
Yeah, somebody.
I can't get jiggy with this.
Yeah, that wasn't good. The 1-on-1, I like that idea for it, but I think players wouldn't do it for the same reason they don't do the dunk contest. Cause if you win it, you get love. But if you lose it, then it's like, oh, you suck.
But then
they
again, if
gonna
you
lose a
lose
strike.
it, that's all that's gonna do is put a chip on, especially for the younger guys, especially for the guys like it's so many guys that I can see that may lose, but now when they get that ball, when we come back from All-Star break, they want to ball out. Cause now you lost, now you don't have the week off after you done lost or like it's what I will say where I see where it could have some faults with the NBA. How do you gauge how many players participate in it? How many players participate? How do you gauge that through a weekend or like that final day? Because now you can't just cram 24 players or 12
Yeah.
players into a
But that's what I'm
3
thinking. I
hour
don't think there'd be that many players that want to
it.
do it, man. I think the possibility of
Who
losing to
gets
somebody,
asked who gets invited to do it?
you know,
And is it like we want you to do it or a sign up thing? How do they gauge that?
it'll become a sign thing. I don't think everybody got the 1-on-1 skill that they think necessary. Like I don't want to no disrespect to like a Kyle Kuzma, but it's like you got Kyle Kuzma playing against Kyrie Irving. It's like okay,
But then again, they all NBA stars, so they ain't ducking no smoke. They ain't gonna be like, oh, no, I don't want to face Kyrie.
yeah, a lot of people
Let's
not
be
gonna
real.
face Kyrie.
Let's be real. Let's be real.
Man,
Congrats to Kyle Kuzma too on his engagement.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did that.
Yeah.
Oh word.
Winnie Harlow.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I know.
All-Star
I know
weekend.
he did it with. I know her. I don't know him.
Oh.
I'm familiar with her game. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about the Unrivaled League? You think they could bring anything to the NBA?
I like the 1-on-1, man. Like Jeeves was saying, I really think the 1-on-1 should be a part of All-Star Weekend. Maybe that Friday.
Oh yeah, before the All-Star game, like a 1-on-1 thing.
Okay.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
that'd be cool. I don't know. Other than that,
NBA,
just-
come holler at us. We can
yeah,
get that
just,
right.
yeah, just some pride.
Yeah,
Just some
yeah.
pride. Before we get out of here, they say you got to give to receive. And since Mary Eric Adams gave Ice what they wanted to take the heat off his case, I think the least you could do is get the players you bet on a break. Since sports betting became legal, things have gotten out of hand. Mikal Bridges said when he loses someone's bet, he gets hate messages. But when he wins the money, he doesn't get anything. And that's foul. He's the NBA's Iron Man, but he doesn't have money like Tony Stark. So if he helps you hit your parlay, the least you could do is help cover his Chipotle. You know? It's terrible that abusing athletes has become a normalized thing. Yeah, the player could have got another point, and you could have came back from your break a minute earlier, but you didn't feel like doing that. Imagine someone cursing you out because you sent an email that was 3 words short of a word count. That's pretty crazy. You know? Like in Spain, you can't bet on the running of the Bulls, and even if you could, it wouldn't be smart to send a mean message to a raging bull. That's stupid. And there's safer ways to be like Air Jordan. You know? Like nowadays, Crypto.com Arena is more like the Coliseum because the fans are out of control. And it's BS that if a player says something back, they get in trouble. It hasn't been that long since the Malice in the Palace. And if fans need a recap, Ron Artest got suspended. But you should check on the other dude. All right, that's the Early Bird Show. See y'all next time. Be safe. Peace.
Check. Yeah. Check.